We now turn to views that take a very different position on the moral status of early human life. The embryo and early fetus are on their way to becoming something that has a right to life, but they don't have it yet. In this segment, we're going to take a look at two of the most important types of theories for this view. One focuses on the key role of the capacity for consciousness, or what philosophers call sentience. The other develops a view of moral status as gradually increasing in degree. The first view we're going to look at explores themes that trace back to the Enlightenment. When we think about what kinds of living things are candidates for moral status, there seems to be a key division between those that are part of the conscious world, creatures able to have experiences, subjective feelings, sensations, and those that are not, bacteria, algae, a lettuce plant. The latter aren't capable of any sensation, even the most rudimentary of pleasures and pains. In philosophical terms, they don't have the capacity for sentience. So let's think about such life forms. Now, in one sense, we can speak about non-sentient beings as having needs, goods, flourishing. There's a perfectly respectable sense in which the lettuce needs water and is harmed by drought. But this biological sense of needs and harms isn't yet sufficient for status on this view, for directly issuing a constraint on our actions. For that flourishing isn't anything the life itself can take an interest in, have concerns about, care about. However remarkable as a living thing, however much respect one may owe life as such, without the capacity for sentience, the life form can't be wronged. On this view, the capacity for sentience is necessary for moral status. To say that something has such status is to say its interests intrinsically deserve protection. Interests are things a creature can take an interest in, and they can't do that if they have no capacity for awareness. This has key implications for considering the status of early human life. Scientists currently believe that the architecture needed to support sentience, the complex neural connections needed to support awareness, emerges somewhere around the middle of gestation. An interesting version of this makes a yet stronger claim. It argues that until sentience emerges, I haven't emerged. So recall the question we explored earlier. When did I come into existence? A question in turn that is about what am I most essentially? Recall, too, that the future like ours and natural law theories endorse the view that what I am most fundamentally is a human organism, hence I've been around since conception. But others argue that what I am most essentially is a mind. I have a body, but what I essentially am is a mind. If I were told that I were facing irreversible loss of all brain function, total brain death, or facing the prospect of biological death, to me it's the same finality. The life of this body can extend after I cease to exist. My body, as it were, can outlive me. So too, this body can predate me. On this view, I never was an embryo. I emerged sometime subsequent when the capacity for consciousness emerged. On either of these versions, whether because the early fetus isn't yet me or not yet a sufficiently matured stage of me, moral status doesn't emerge until after the middle of pregnancy, well after the vast majority of abortions are performed.